Here we go.
You
Now we
caught
got
me sitting up.
right?
Yeah, I always think of Kelsey going, sit up straight.
I know, I got to button up, look professional, sound professional. Here we go. All right, we're talking about blogs today, and they are just like a little trend or something fun to do if you like to write. They are a critical part of your marketing strategy. They not only drive traffic to your website, but they build trust with potential customers and then some. So today we're going to talk about why every business needs a blog and a consistent blog, and why it is something that search engines love. So let's go ahead and get started.
Okay, thank you for joining us here on Marketing and a Mic again. Sarah and I are always here trying to give you digital marketing tips, trends, useful guides. We're really here just to help you get results for your business. So blogging, I think I've been doing this for so long that when I mention blogging, people they're like,
yeah.
What are you talking about? It just seems intimidating for some reason. So we're going to talk about why you need this. Why is it so important? I mean, it creates visibility in the search results, which is, us. We want to make sure you're being found.
Yes.
Also, establishes credibility. You become a trusted source. And guess what? The search engines love that. And your website's going to gain authority over time the more you do it.
Yes. This is all about increasing your visibility. So that should be your mindset. So let's dive into all the ways that blogs can help bring you more business. So the first one is it improves your SEO.
Yes.
So, let's say, this is the most important reason.
I mean, let's get down to brass tacks.
Right. If you hear anything else, hear this. And this is why your website needs a blog. So SEO, we talk about all the time. So if you don't understand it, here's a little quick definition. It's the process of setting up your website to attract more customers based on their online searches. So blogging is sort of an organic way that you can boost your SEO and get your website discovered.
Yes. And you may say, how do you do that? Well, you kind of need to think like Google or a search engine. And how do you do that? Well, we can tell you. No, we can explain it. Search engines like Google, what they do is they have these little things called crawlers that come out and scan websites looking for content that's going to help determine how credible are you and how relevant are you for what people are searching. So if they're searching for blogs or websites or whatever, we need to make sure that we have that information available to people. So if you keep an ongoing blog, then that's going to keep your website current. Those little crawly things are going to come back more and more and more. And search engines do not send searchers to sites who are outdated or don't have anything on there. I think you and I have talked about this before on this show.
Yeah.
If you're going to have a blog, do something with it. Otherwise, take it off the site because...
Yeah. And that's the thing, is that's what Google's trying to do. They're trying to return to that searcher, the most relevant, the most useful information. So you have to keep up with it. If it's outdated, you might as well forget it. So you got to be consistent. So when you update your website with new content using specific SEO factors, your company's website is going to gradually start rising through the ranks on SERP, which is the results page that people see when they're kind of entering something into the search bar. So we're going to kind of break down there's a lot of factors, but these are some of the main ingredients that you want to think about when you are writing your blog.
Yes. And again, it shouldn't be intimidating because you're writing about what you know.
Yes.
I mean, hopefully you know what you sell and what your business is about. So
exactly.
It shouldn't be real hard. So it's really important to think about your keywords of your business and think about, what is my audience searching for with us? Are they searching for SEO company, website company, whatever? Think about those, because that's what you want to write about.
Yes.
You want to write about things you know, right? So this is going to allow you to use these specific keywords related to your products and services so that the search engines can find you even better. And when you're writing this, we always tell people, keep it natural, or that's
Yeah.
Rob's thing that he always tells people, keep it natural. And what do we mean by that? It's going to happen naturally. If we start writing about websites, guess what? The term websites is going to come up.
Right.
We don't have to throw it in there 50 times just to make it relevant.
That's exactly right. So yeah, and that just comes down to also another thing, which is structuring and organizing your content and your page layout. So readability is a big factor with Google. They want to make sure, like you said, write naturally. You want to write like a human. So articles are just easier to read when they provide a good user experience. They're laid out really well. And it gets the user to stay on the page longer because they're reading through it and it makes sense. So also include keyword infused meta title and description tags. And you're probably like, what the heck is she talking about?
So, blew my hair back.
Yeah, exactly. So when you're on Google, okay, and you're searching and you're going to see the title, that's going to be the title. And then there's going to be that short description that we read to figure out, like, do I want to click on that? That's sort of what your metadata title and description tags are. So this is that little short description and a brief little snippet that's going to get the readers intrigued. So that's something you really want to make sure that you write well so that people click on it.
Yes. And again, a lot of people don't like to read a lot of words. I mean, you have to have a lot of words to make it worth putting this on your website, but have captivating visuals like images and videos. I mean, we talk about this all the time. If you add these kind of things to your blog post, it's obviously going to make it more engaging. Plus, it attracts different people. Some people would rather watch video. Some people would rather read really quickly. So make sure you're also optimizing your videos and images for SEO. And that's a whole nother show. But if you want more info on that, ask us, because I'm not going to go into it any further. Also, backlinks are very important when you're writing blog posts. What are backlinks? They're basically external links to other websites. Okay. So say we're talking about some cool thing that's coming out on the internet, on internet marketing. We may reference another website and put their link in our blog post. So that's also going to help you show up in the search engines more and make sure that you are giving quality content that supports, other websites, but also supports the material you're giving. But I will say a tip is, if you're linking to somebody, you need to make sure that that is a quality website as well.
Yeah, right.
It has to be up to par to what you offer. You don't want to link to some weird,
something that's not a trusted source.
Yeah, I mean, because that's not going to help you at all.
No, it's certainly not going to help you. So we talk about those backlinks, and then you want internal links. So internal links are basically sending readers to other related content or other related blogs within your website. This is another great thing because it's kind of that internal linking keeps your on-page SEO strong, and then your older articles will continue to get new links. And it's also a good indicator for Google so that they can navigate through your website easily with all your other blogs. So the other tip we want to give you is to use categories to organize your content. So categories work a little bit like a table of contents, and it helps divide up major topics. Again, it's just a lot easier for Google to index your content, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to read it all, make sure it's organized, and that helps them understand you as sort of an authoritative and trustworthy site.
Again, it's all about user experience. That's Google's number one thing. So what else can you do to attract people? You need to have a strong blog post title. That's very, very important. So the title of your blog has to be, I mean, if you look at this, how it improves your search engine, a good blog title encourages clicks and makes your article more relevant in the search query. You also want to try to use as many different titles as possible, but still incorporating your keywords. I know Kelsey is always getting on to us. Kelsey is our cohort who helps us. She does all the stuff on the back end, and she's like, you have to come up with different titles.
Yes, she's on it. She's on it. So this is just our recap about what the number one reason is that, when you update your website with SEO rich content, your search rankings improve. So that is one takeaway from why your business needs a blog. So, okay. So let's move on to, you've got number two.
Oh.
Yep. I'm
I
like,
saw that flash up and I saw Improves SEO and I'm like trying to save my stuff. I'm like, and it Improves SEO. And then I'm back.
I was sitting here, I was like, I probably should have told you, I'm gonna put up some slides. You're like, where
Hey,
am I looking now?
hey, it's all good stuff. It doesn't matter. So we can jump where we want. All right, we're at number 2 of why you need a blog on your website. It drives traffic. That is obvious, or it should be
Yes.
obvious, but it is very, very important. A blog that directly addresses someone's specific questions about a product or service, it's going to give them more information they need to make a purchase. They may want more info on it. So,
Yes.
what better way to do it than have a blog telling about it?
That's so true. So, an audience focused blog and a customer focused blog with a topic with a strategic call to action, that's key too. It's a great way to point people with the most interest in your product or service directly to the place where they can make a purchase. So, if you're talking about something specific to your product or service within that blog, hey, point them to where they can go and get more information or actually purchase that or get an appointment or get a quote, whatever it is. So to get that right kind of web traffic, the kind that's going to be more likely to make a purchase, you've got to write about topics that your target audience is most interested in. We talk about this all the time. Like, it doesn't matter what you like. I could talk about something all day long that I feel like I'm an expert on, but if my audience could care less about it, then it's a waste of time.
Yeah, and are you solving any of their problems? I mean, if
Yeah,
they're coming to you, you want them to buy, anyway, we could talk about that all day long
we
too. So
sure
the
could.
quickest way a blog transforms online traffic into this is the quickest way, excuse me, that turns it into a strong lead for you. So once your insightful blog post, I'm having a hard time.
I'm loving it.
All right. So how about this? You've got this great blog post. These people are coming to it. This is going to be the beginning of your sales funnel
Yeah.
because if they read and are understanding your company and product and service, that gets them more interested in buying and gets them into the sales cycle. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, and you got there. So, let's say that your blog doesn't convince them right away, like, oh, I want that. I want to buy that. You want to actually include your contact information or something like that so that you have generated sort of a lead beyond that. So we want to add it. So you want to make sure that you are creating a traffic leading blog. And here's some things that you can consider adding that'll help it kind of get that lead moving along.
Yeah, because like we're talking about driving traffic, but you still want to have a call to action. So that's a CTA. That's what we mean by CTA. Are you asking your audience to act? Are you asking them to do something? Make sure all your blogs end with either a request or a hook for them to seek out more information or go someplace else. You could even have a share button in the footer of your blog, and that's going to encourage readers to share your post on their site. So blogs are awesome, but you need to kind of have a call to action involved.
Yes, yes. And then include other links. So we talked about this before, but not only does that help with your SEO, but if you include other links, other relevant or related blogs, the reader could click on and get more information. Again, this is all kind of correlating with that customer journey. So you want to just put everything in front of them so that if they want to check out more information, stay on that page longer, and it's just building and building of you sort of as an expert. So you want to include that. And then, of course, promote it. So if you write a great blog, you don't have it's going to live on your website, but there's other ways that you could go and promote it. So you can promote it on social media. You can include it in an email campaign or a newsletter just to help maximize more and more views. So, we always talk about like kind of building that shelf life of your content. Those are ways to do it.
Exactly. So this brings us to number 3, which is one of my favorite things. If you have a blog and you write blogs consistently and post them, it's going to build value and also build your authority. A well-written customer or audience focused blog is an excellent way to share your knowledge and say, hey, look, I'm the expert over here. And it also is going to give them value and keep them coming back. So customers want to turn to brands that they feel that knows about them, knows about the stuff they want. And that, if you're truly wanting to help your customers, that's going to come across in a blog, or it should. That's a great way to use it.
I couldn't agree more. And I mean, just from a customer standpoint, and we're talking about how this can help you with just website traffic, but when you think about it, when I'm reading a blog and I'm like, wow, that was that was solution driven. It solved my problem. And then you go on, you see all these other helpful articles.
Yeah.
You're like, well, that's where I'm going to go next time, because they've got the answer. So when we talk about that, where it builds brand value and brand authority, blogs are just that way to share your expertise. So it provides solutions. So they're going to be thankful that they're going to be able to find information that helps them in some way, whether it answers a question, solves a problem, or helps feed an interest. If your blogs can do that, you're only building value, kind of that value equity. And additionally, builds your credibility. So they're going to see you as an expert on that subject matter. So they're going to be like, you know what? These people know what they're talking about. I trust them.
Yes, exactly. As you know, we're all always studying here at Fusion One Marketing, but some of the podcasts and stuff I've been listening to is people need to know, like, and trust you without knowing you.
Right.
So a blog is a great way to do that, because the more posts that they become familiar with your company, this confidence is just going to build over time that you have what they need.
Yes.
So value your business. They'll begin to understand your company's value and usefulness to them. And then they'll become a customer, because the more times they remember you, or the more top of mind that you are, the more likely that they're going to think about you when they want to buy what you have to sell down the road.
That's so true. It kind of keeps you top of mind. And so if after your business is starting to post more and more of these consistent blogs, and they're well written and they're helpful and they're all of those things, you're going to start to see a gradual increase in your website SEO, along with other SEO factors you got to implement. I want to be clear about that. It's just not blogs, but blogs are a good, helpful piece of it. And it's just going to hint greater customer loyalty. So Google's have always emphasized quality content. I mean, they drive that home. So these blogs are a helpful way to add value to the end user.
Most definitely. Now we build trust. This is number 4. Again, once you get all this stuff going, you're building trust. We've mentioned it a little bit, but as a business owner, you want to get your name and products and services out there, and prove to potential customers that you are trustworthy, but you also have the knowledge and you're the expert in your field.
Yes.
There are a lot of fly-by-night companies out there. You don't want to be one of those, or appear to be one of those. So again, blogging can help you accomplish the KLT. Again, I've been watching podcasts. The KLT, the no client.
Did you add that?
Huh?
Did you add that, or did I add that?
Yeah, I did. Can you believe
I was about to say, I was like, that's cool.
After all this work that you do on all of this stuff, I added one sentence.
Well, I was like, the KLT, this sounds pretty cool.
The KLT, kind of sounds like a, I don't
yeah,
know,
you know me.
Yeah. So, hey, we can have a whole show on KLT. They get to know, like, and trust you. So as readers and search engines discover your content, and they begin to KLT, you're being recognized as a reliable source, it's going to help you go up in the search engine rankings.
It sure does. So that was our 4th point here, is that it builds trust with customers. So when a business understands our pain points, how good does that feel? And they help us solve that problem. We trust that business, and we believe that they're putting our needs front and center. So if your blog starts delivering that quality content and answers common questions, and it provides useful insights, we start to trust them as a resource more and more. And that is so crucial for customers. We have to see we have to be able to trust your brand.
Well, yeah. I mean, if they find something interesting, it's just what you said. If you find something interesting on a blog, or it's helpful, or it solves a pain that you're having, you're definitely going to remember that company as an industry authority, or somebody you can trust, because you're like, hey, they had the answer to that. So it plays into the long-term process of using a variety of marketing touches. That's very important to lure in potential leads and earn that customer credibility.
Yes. And that's the thing, is it's such a two-way thing. So customers really value, they want to buy products and services from businesses that they feel like they can relate to, or they understand them. And Google also places a big importance on that when ranking websites, is that, once you've built that trust, they trust you, and they're more willing to put you in front of users that are searching for your type of business. So that's a wrap for us today. We hope that we've convinced you in the power of blogs for your website, and it really is a must-have. And we're here to help you. So you don't ever have to feel like, oh my gosh, blogs. We're here to help. We're here to help you in any type of way, websites, SEO, blogs, you name it. We are your one-stop shop. So,
and don't forget that our podcast goes live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn, but you can also catch the replay on Instagram and our YouTube channel. We're very proud of the YouTube channel. It is a huge resource for your digital marketing plan. So make sure that you visit us there as well. So I guess that's it for today. So we'll be back in a couple of weeks. Have a great one.
Bye.